Welcome to Blind Abilities. I'm Jeff Thompson. For students, the transition from high school to college to the workplace is a journey of preparations and achievements as a student sets course for the career that they want. And one key component of this journey is internships. And student internships are making a huge difference for these four college students, Joshua, Chi, Jackson, and Josh. And to introduce us to student internships is State Services for the Blind's Transition Work Opportunities Navigator, Randi Lasher.
Well, I'm Randi Lasher. I'm one of our Transition Work Opportunity Navigators with SSB. Internships are a time-limited or short-term learning opportunity that can help give students hands-on experience in a job that aligns well with their long-term career goals. Internships are a great way for students to significantly enhance their skill development, gain relevant work experience, and can help provide a streamline future opportunities for that student in their particular career field. Internships are great for folks that are just starting out with little to no formal work experience, as well as those who are actively enrolled in a post-secondary training program, as it's often a requirement. SSB helps students in identifying employers that offer internships or who would be willing to partner with us in providing what we call a paid work-based learning experience for the student. It's essentially an internship. We can assist with the application process and any onboarding paperwork, as well as discussions around accommodation needs. SSB is also available to assist with job coaching during an internship, as well as providing any other supports that a student or employer might need for it to be a successful learning experience for all.
Thanks, Randi. And now, let's hear from our four college students currently involved in internships, Joshua, Key, Jackson, and Josh. Take it away, Joshua.
Thanks, Jeff. My name is Joshua Lakani. I was born and raised in Lawrenceville, Georgia, but I currently attend the University of Minnesota, where I major in human resource development. I am currently working for a company called Unilever, where I as a human resource business partner intern. So I got involved in working at Unilever through this program called Lime Connect. Lime Connect is this program that helps connect people with disabilities to corporate America, specifically Fortune 500 companies in corporate America. So I applied to that and was able to get in. That was during my sophomore year, and there are multiple rounds. So I was able to get through those rounds, and once you're in, they provide you with connections at these companies, one of them being Unilever. And I was able to network with one of the people that currently works in the HR department that I work with and build there and get into the company. The people at Unilever are very accommodating, very friendly. So I haven't had any inaccessibility issues, and I feel like the work has been very representative of what I would be doing if I were to be working full-time at Unilever. So that is always a good indication of the quality of an internship. So I've enjoyed the experience so far, and I look forward to see what comes of it. And for those interested in getting an internship, first and foremost, I would say figure out what type of internship you want to get into, because there's a lot of different internships out there, and if you don't have an idea of what you're looking for, you could be looking for ever, honestly. So getting an idea of what you want. The second thing I would say is, once you have an idea of what you want, try to leverage your connections and see what opportunities there are in those fields. Like, there are different programs that I've gone into for corporate America. I mentioned one earlier, Lime Connect. There's another one that's for people who are going into law and corporate America, TAD Foundation. So there's a lot of different programs out there for people with disabilities and people who are blind that you can leverage to kind of get into these spaces, because ultimately it's not necessarily the most easy for us as blind individuals to get into these spaces. So being able to leverage and utilize the connections that you do have is very salient in getting into where you want to get into. Finally, I would say knowing what you want and connections cannot get you fully to where you want to be. Knowing your story and being able to convey that in an interview and being able to have the skills needed to convince the interviewer that you are the person for the internship is also very important. So just keeping that in mind as well. As for SSB, they have helped me throughout my journey in a number of ways. A couple of them just being helping me through college, right? Like, college is a key component in getting internships because people who are interviewing potential interns want to know that you are going to an institution that's providing you with skills and the knowledge to perform well at this internship. So point number 2, I would say the people and connections I can draw upon at SSB. So I used to work at SSB as a peer educator, and my supervisor at the time was Sheila Koenig. So being able to have her write recommendations for me or be able to put her down as somebody who has managed me has been something that has come in handy. I know I keep mentioning Lime Connect, but with the Lime Connect process, they ask you to write down people that they can reach out to that can confirm X, Y, and Z. So I was able to put down her name, and when they reach out to her, I know good things were said. So just having the connection with SSB has been very impactful for me. And now I will pass it over to Chi.
My name's Chi Johnson. I just turned 21 last December. I'm an incumbent senior at the University of St. Thomas, specifically on their St. Paul campus. My major there is accounting, and for the internship, I have working for KPMG's SALT, or state and local tax program there. I got involved with the internship last summer. I began interviews while I was studying abroad. For St. Thomas, it's not a hard rule, but it's sort of expected for all business students to have some sort of internship experience during their junior summer. So I chose for mine to be at KPMG. The internship has been going very good so far. I've learned a lot from my colleagues and my superiors there, specifically in the realm of state and local taxes. I've got some good hands-on experience doing things that a full-time employee, let's say a first-year associate, would be doing there. So it's a great experience, great to meet everyone there at the firm as well. Unfortunately, it will be ending pretty soon. After this Friday, I only have about 3 weeks left of it. Some advice I would give to someone looking for an internship: unfortunately, I can only speak for a business side since I am a business student. I don't have much experience with any other career field. What I can say, though, is just start as early as you possibly can. I interviewed for my current internship about a year ago, and nowadays, in this hiring environment, firms like to lock down candidates well in advance. At the very minimum, half a year, preferably within a full year. I would also recommend to use any resources that your current campus might have on it, a career center. For me at St. Thomas, there's a bunch of career fairs, a bunch of counselors I could talk to for some introductions. I would also recommend starting learning some skills. A very big one is Excel. In any job possible, you will be using it. I took a Udemy course for Excel. It was nothing too fancy. It didn't get into macros or VBA, but it taught me the basics and how to use some more of their data functions. But if you can learn stuff like that, and also participate in extracurricular activities, it can really set you above other candidates for a position. SSB has helped me quite a bit across all of college. Right now, I'm an incoming senior, so I've had about 3 years of college experience. They have helped me both financially and on a technical basis. I can rely on them for advice on how I can use technology to sort of remedy any disadvantages I could have with my vision impairment. So this could mean accommodations for any classwork or testing. You can also just include any instructions or recommendations that the workers at SSB have due to their experience. As an incumbent senior, I have 1 year of college ahead of me. It's going to be a very packed year. I'm planning to fit in 40 credits into that 1 year. Because I'm planning to be a CPA, I plan to start studying for the test next spring. And that particular path requires you to have 150 credit hours. So it's a lot more than most people will have to take. But after that, I plan to start studying for the CPA exam. That alone can be a year-long process to get certified. You also need a year's worth of experience to actually be fully certified. So 1 year of schooling left, then it'll be a bunch of studying, and then hopefully I get an offer from an accounting firm. And now I'll pass it along to Jackson.
Hi, my name is Jackson Mathis. I'm currently a master's in urban and regional planning student at the University of Minnesota, and specifically at the Humphrey School of Public Affairs. And so my specific sub within my major is I'm looking at transportation planning specifically. I would like to work with that field going into the future. As somebody with visual impairment, I think it's really interesting and want to work at helping people get around and make it as easy as possible for everybody. Right now, I am interning with Metro Mobility, which is the bus service company that helps people with all sorts of disabilities, whether it be vision, like a wheelchair, for any reason. If you're not able to ride the normal bus, Metro Mobility is who you go through. So I'm working with them. I've been doing several different projects so far, and I think it's been really interesting. I got involved with Metro Mobility through some resources from some of my professors at the University of Minnesota. Whenever there's a new internship or job posting, we have specific websites where everything gets thrown onto like one big sheet. You can click the links and find any position you think might be interesting. And this one stood out to me because I felt like it is relatable to what I want to do, and also it's something that relates to me personally. My internship's really fun so far, actually. It's been really cool to see how agencies and stuff like that work from the inside and see kind of what aspects that are a struggle that you wouldn't really notice otherwise had you not been, seeing the inside of it, I guess. If I was to be giving advice to somebody who's looking to gain an internship, I'd really recommend trying to start as early as you can. I know my internship, I applied in December and it started in June, so some of them can take a while, but also it's never too late, and don't be super discouraged if you don't hear back or get the first one or two that you apply to. There's a lot of people applying for a lot of these, so the best thing you can do is to apply for as many as you can. SSB has been very helpful for me throughout my journey in the internship in a lot of different ways, through just support when I have questions. I know years ago when I first enrolled in undergrad, they helped me do a tour of campus, and so then I knew where I was going and I felt like I was prepared and way less nervous going into it. There's been all kinds of resources that they have links to within the universities that help you if you have accommodations that you need, and it just makes it a lot less stressful. So SSB has been great. After my internship is over, I have one more year left in my grad program, and then after that I hope to work with either a city or a county agency at some level, and I want to work with the transportation industry, like with planning with roads and public transportation type of things specifically is my goal. I'm going to pass it over to Josh.
Hello, my name is Josh Saban. I am a resident senior at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities, studying computer science. And this summer, I'm doing a summer internship with the Metropolitan Council here in Minneapolis for their Metro Transit Division. I am working for the Bus Systems Technology Operations team. And the kind of work I do is I make a lot of reports, do a lot of SQL querying, database querying, use applications such as like Power BI to create visualizations to sort of visualize transit data and make sure things are working like they're supposed to be, like the buses and sort of the technology on the buses, making sure they're working. If they're not working, which ones aren't working. I found out about this internship through a friend who had worked at the council previous years ago, and he recommended that I apply. And also my want to be in the public sector is also what kind of drove me to finding this position as well. When it comes to finding an internship, I think now for a lot of people, it's definitely gotten a lot more difficult to sort of get that interview to sort of then even get an interview, frankly, before even getting an internship. And so honestly, like the advice that I would give for students looking for internships is just like apply to as many places as you possibly can, and someone will reach out to you from some company eventually. And so getting that interview is the first step. And then of course, being interested in what the company does, asking questions, inquiring, having a conversation with your interviewer is a really great way, I think, to make a really good impression, when you're a student looking for an internship, because you become more memorable. For future plans, like I mentioned, I am going to be a senior this year at the University of Minnesota in computer science. I actually got into their integrated master's program, so I will be going to grad school after I am done, also for computer science. And at that point, I hopefully will still be with the council. I like being in the public sector. It's really fulfilling. It's a way for me to see how my actions can, help the people around me, like my community. So hopefully I'm still with the council in some capacity after graduation, after my master's degree. And yeah, the support that I received from SSB has been really great in terms of like not having to worry about the financial aspect and having these opportunities. I can just enjoy my internship without having to worry about sort of how much I'm making, focus more on the experience itself as a way to sort of learn more skills regardless of, maybe how much I'm getting paid. And also SSB is really great with helping finding these opportunities as well. In the past, I worked with my counselor. They have done internship searches with me. I worked with someone in career services here at SSB, done interview prep with me, which has been really great. Also like resume reviews, stuff like that. So that's been my experience with SSB. It's really been really great for me. There's a lot of good opportunities here. So if you're interested, definitely reach out to your counselor or any other contacts.
During an internship, students can expect that they'll have more formal oversight and mentoring available, often directly from their supervisor or from their employer. Just the nature of an internship is really about learning and about making sure that a particular position is the right fit for the student and for the employer and for the team as a whole. So it's a really supported way to approach employment and can be just a really comfortable means of gaining that relevant work experience in a student's expressed career field. If you're interested in learning more about what internship possibilities might be right for you, you can feel free to talk to your SSB counselor, or if you're connected with Transition Work Opportunities Navigator through SSB, really any of our staff here are more than happy to help you explore options and see what might be right for you.
Be sure to contact your state services for the blind, your voc rehab, and find out what they can do for you. Live, work, read, succeed. To find out more about all the programs at State Services for the Blind, contact Shane.DeSantis at state.mn.us. That's Shane.DeSantis at state.mn.us. I want to thank you for listening, and until next time, bye-bye.
When we share
what we see through
each other's eyes, we can then begin to bridge the gap
between the limited expectations and the reality of blind abilities.
And the realities of blind abilities.